Now, the beauty of programming is that even though in many ways it's a science, but in some other ways it's an art, really, because you're expressing something when you program, when you're doing things, right? Yes, technically speaking, there's a lot of technicalities that goes into programming, but as you learn more, you start realizing that it is like writing just a narrative in your own language, right? Like writing a poem or an essay in any other language that you may be aware of or that you may be fluent at. So what I'm trying to say here is that you will find as you learn more that there's different ways to do the same thing. Now, one of which I think is very important for us to discuss here briefly is the fact that, as you see here, I created a different variable to add or to put inside of it the total number, meaning whatever we're doing with the A and B, the variables A and B, we're going to put that in total. I could have just done this, copy this, and just put it like that. Save. If you run this, the result is going to be the same, right? But what is the advantage of actually putting things into variables? Well, number one, remember variables are buckets, right? Just little containers in memory where we can put stuff and then recall later. So that is the beauty. That is really what a variable is. So we can call it later, right? Add things or retrieving things out of it. So it's always a good idea to do this, in many cases I should say, but there's sometimes when you just want a direct result. In this case, if you know that you're never going to use this variable anywhere else, you can just go ahead and do like that. But the advantage of having a variable as such, put that result into a variable, is that you can do things to it. For instance, at this point, I can come down here, I can say, for instance, total is going to be equal to total, the same number, or the same variable, plus 100, like that. Okay, now if I call this total back down here, you'll notice that I'm going to have something different. It's 101, right? Because I was able to take that variable, that bucket, and we say, well, this bucket now is going to have a new value. What is the value? Well, it's going to be whatever it's in the bucket total. I'm going to just add 100. I could have also said something like this, plus, we're going into bigger details here, like that. Save this. You're going to see the same results. So what I'm doing here, whenever you see this plus equal like that, all it's saying is that we're taking whatever is inside of this value and we're just adding 100 to it. Okay? So that's a simplified way as opposed to saying what we did before. Total is equal to total plus another number 100 like this. Okay? This is the same thing. But this is more succinct, cleaner, and to the point. So whenever you see plus or minus, for that matter, equal in a number, that means we're taking the total, in this case, this variable, and whatever it's inside, we adding or subtracting the next number. Okay, simplicity. So there we go. So sometimes you want to use, put everything into a variable so you have that flexibility. But there are times you know that you will never want to use that variable ever again. We can just go directly and do the arithmetic operation that we want inside of our println. And that also works fine.